So I want to start with asking a few questions. I hope you don't mind me. So which one here or who here thinks that customer experience is important to their business? Like everyone, right? And who thinks that they're providing a great customer experience to their customers? About half, more than half. That's good. Now I just want to hold that thought, and we'll go back to that one. But the other thing that I wanted to ask: are there any customers of Michael here, like people that have worked with him as well?
Good.
Yeah, a few. So
hands up, guys! God, don't be sad to have worked with me. Oh my God!
he provide a good customer experience.
Yeah, Michael was awesome.
Would you refer him?
Absolutely. Which package did you buy?
So good.
But you were left with a good experience, right? So yeah, I know that he does the hug, experience. Yeah. So
Wait, hang on. What about people who've got personal space issues?
You can give me a thumbs up.
Okay, so
Feel
do
free
you
to
offer the option?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I've always wondered.
it's
But the
only
thing
for
is that-
packages 2 and 3.
Most people don't have the budget for that one.
What I wanted to get to is next year, so 2025, we're talking, about AI and technology and these amazing tools that are going to get you there and give you a competitive edge. But what I want to focus is on the thing that I really think is going to be a key differentiator to next year, and it is not AI, which is a great tool that you can leverage. It's not software. It's trust and it's customer experience. Like the key differentiator, especially in a market like New Zealand, people do value trust and minimizing risk a lot. So we're a very, very risk-averse country. And when people make decisions, especially when you're getting to high-ticket items, it's minimizing risk, so they're looking for trust. What is the best way to actually obtain that trust is to create customer experience. And that's one thing that a lot of businesses undermine a lot. People think, like most of them, they think that we provide great customer experience, but a lot of businesses are up for a surprise. The one thing and the one number that I wanted for you to remember is 86%. So 86% of customers are willing to pay more for a good customer experience. So imagine a superior customer experience, right? And that's compared to other indicators that, even including price. The higher ticket your item, the more relevant this is, right? So when people are investing in something good, they really care about the customer experience. If you're just buying cheap items from overseas, Temu, whatever, there's many people that is, but most of you are not competing. You're not competing on price with this, overseas or different services that you can get, Fever or whatever it is, or another consultant or a bot. In your case, that example about the blog, you still were working with an agency that vested and utilized that tool, right? But the alternative would be you can actually just go online and use a tool that generates it for you for like $10, right? But then the customer experience that you might get or the result couldn't be great, right? So if we go to the next one, I just asked you the question, which is, like how many of you think that you're providing great customer service? So 80% of companies said, according to a report by Bain & Co., that they believe they provide superb customer experience. When their customers were asked, only 8% of them came back saying that they thought they got good customer experience, right? So the reality is that there's a huge difference in between what companies believe that they're offering to what the customers are receiving. And that's where something that you just say is really important. You need to know your customers, right?
And what's important to them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times we don't even know who our customers are. And most often than not, I think at almost any company that I've worked, we did not have a proper customer map or a customer experience mapping in which we actually saw where the friction items were or what the problems were, what the challenges were. There was just someone that had been working in the industry for 25 years that knew better than anyone that told us what they knew the problem was. But we were not really listening.
It doesn't have to be hard.
No.
It's just not that hard to go and speak to customers or go into a store if you're selling some stuff and like literally be in the shoes of the customer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
What a huge difference.
it is. It is a big difference. But that's because a lot of the businesses are not as customer centric as they believe what they are. If you go to the next one, so one of the things that I wanted to ask you all is an exercise that you can do to prepare for next year is to actually, even if it's pen and pencil, whatever tool you want to use, just try to select one of your customer personas. So try to think about one of your good customers that repeats business with you and try to map their customer journey. It's like, how can I do their journey better? It's like, where can I actually do something to delight them? Like, how can I impress them and create a memorable experience? So identify where the opportunities are, because that's going to be the best marketing that you're ever going to be, or the best marketing investment that you're ever going to be able to do, is investing in happy customers.
And what I'll just add to that too, Javier, like I always say to my clients, I can give you the best ad in the world, absolutely pointless if it ends up a shitty website experience, a terrible salesperson. Like the best marketing and advertising doesn't mean anything if it's doesn't mean anything if they actually at the end point is not following through.
And that's absolutely right. So one of the key things that I've done as a consultant is working on demand generation. So a couple of companies paid me really big money to build some forms and and some LinkedIn campaigns and and a landing page, things that they wanted me to do. At some point, I got to one of them that Belinda knows really well, and I told them, look, I cannot do this for you. I want to do a full experience. So I want to do a full customer journey and build it for you. It's going to cost you a little bit more, but the results are going to be much greater when you actually take someone from the very beginning of the funnel or of that journey to the end without friction. Otherwise, you're going to invest money on a campaign, on ads, like $3,500 a month, but then they don't arrive to the right landing page. The message there is for someone else, or they don't resonate, or suddenly you don't have an offer that is tailored to them. So if you don't have a holistic view, you've got a lot of chances that person is just going to lose focus and go somewhere else, probably not come back.
And we're all busy, right? Like I'm sure everyone in this room can relate to the idea of like you see something and you click through and you're like, like you've made this really hard for me. Stop making it hard. I don't want to,
So if we go to the next one, what I will say and what I would recommend is you've got the opportunity to do a very cost-efficient marketing exercise, which is maximizing your customer experience. And it doesn't mean that you need crazy resources, a lot of money for it. You can do it very efficiently, but you need to be intentional, determined, and organized. Most of you, does anyone here or is anyone here that doesn't use CRM in their business? No shame.
Does an Excel spreadsheet count?
Yeah.
You do.
He's a CRM expert.
He's a Zoho partner.
Where I'm getting at is like some people think that CRM, most of us know it as software, but traditionally it used to be a notepad. It used to be a filing cabinet. It used to be, what matters is that you collect and keep your customers' information, preferences, habits, like what matters to them somewhere that you can revisit and you can have data to remember and provide a superb customer experience in the future to them. So what I wanted to share with you is a few tools that you can use. One of them is a good and efficient CRM tool that allows you to have a unique source of truth, like a one place where you can find all customer information, because most likely your business are not going to be just you. If you're going to be working with someone else, if that person is not at the office that day, how do you know the conversation they had last week? How can you know what it said in that email that they received, right? So it's really important that not only you have CRM, but that you are very disciplined at updating the data and doing manual entries with notes, with what's the name of their children,
Yeah.
What do they care about?
The bank manager who knew, Christmas cards. And
Yeah, it's similar to the barista that knows your order.
Yeah.
People continue to go to that barista because they know the order, they know the name. They're not going for the coffee. They're going for the customer experience.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of the times it's, like you're willing to be on a line and stay a little bit longer waiting just because it's that barista. Other one is the website. So a lot of the companies just have a box ticking exercise on having a website, right? A website doesn't have to be flashy and have amazing videos. That's great if you can have it. But a website has to be efficient. So it has to be one of those stages in your journey that allows you, or that actually serves a purpose. So you need to have the right information, and you need to allow people to self-serve and to navigate at their own pace, inform themselves, answer questions that they need. And if you're selling something, purchase seamlessly, like find aid, whatever is the purpose of your website, be intentional and ensure that it continues being part of that journey that we were talking about earlier. To provide great customer experience is, or other thing that we need to bear in mind is that it's not just about online. Some of you have shops, garages, like offices, whatever it is. Customer experience is not just about the people behind their computer at home, like doing something and sending them emails. And sometimes it is just about a poster that you go on your shop indicating how people can do something, giving them a tip, or like actually giving them a life hack or whatever it is. So ensure that your experience is holistic and it's multi-channel, and it's not just focused on LinkedIn and website and that's it, because we sell software. Well, it's more than that, right? You might actually want to send a letter to that people on that is handwritten over Christmas, just congratulating them, or a pack of cookies, because that's going to be a lot more memorable and it's going to elevate their experience. Yeah, last one, which really, really matters, and I think I couldn't find the stat, but I think it's 97% of companies do it wrong, is feedback mechanisms. So a lot of people think that because they send a customer satisfaction survey, or that they ask every now and then their customer, they think that's enough. A majority of people don't actually have qualitative conversations that are deep enough, that are caring with their customers.
Do you think they're scared of getting the feedback?
Yeah. A lot of them. Yeah.
Are you? Are you?
Yeah.
I ask for 5-star reviews. I don't ask for others.
But so what I'll say about that. So I used to work in an organisation. Feedback's a gift. And genuine, like my managers be like, feedback's a gift. I'm like, it's bloody not. Thanks.
No, yeah.
But I think we can all. I would think it's a universal experience to go when you've been given some feedback. Sometimes that's where you grow. And so, I really firmly believe that sometimes when you get the stuff that's not that great, and I've also been an Airbnb host, and I've had some average feedback, also some really glowing reviews. And after I got over the anger, I've really learnt from that. Sorry to interrupt your point, but I think,
your worst reviews can become your biggest fans.
Yeah,
it's not.
If you can turn it around, right?
Yeah,
100%.
Well, even just dealing with it, apologising and doing whatever you can to put it right, and because it doesn't happen a lot these days, they go, tough luck, you paid now.
You don't learn anything from the 5s.
Now, a lot of the times, and I'm going to support that claim. So the restaurant that I had before I worked for Mike, I was very successful, and I sold it for a very good amount of money. It was bankrupt when I got into that restaurant, so it was about to close. And we turned it, and it became a sensation in Ponsonby Road. And one of the first things that I did when I got there is I went door to door to the 100 neighbors that were on the street, introducing myself, inviting them to come in, just trying to gain their trust and, provide them with from before they came into my restaurant, good experience. But the biggest win that I had is that we had a ridiculous amount of complaints because of the music, because it was too loud, too late at night, and we had some really bad reviews and comments about some of the patrons. So instead of hiding and avoiding it, which the owner, my partner then, she was like, no, don't talk to those neighbors. They're crazy. It's like they're going to report us anyway. I went to, talk to them. And we had a really, really good conversation. And they told me how much they hated the place and that there was a lot of people peeing on their door and all that stuff. So I found solutions and I listened to them. So I started by listening to them. They just wanted to talk to someone and they wanted to be heard and matter, right? So after talking to them, we found some small fixes that cost us like nothing, and that people became some of our best patrons after that. They brought everyone in. They had a lot of money living in Ponsonby Road, and they were there every day of the week. So on a Tuesday, Wednesday, when there was no one else in Ponsonby, they were bringing people and spending a ridiculous amount of money. And it's because we fronted that, right?
Yeah.
But it's turning them. It's how you resolve the conflict, right? So the other thing that I wanted to touch briefly on is how do you actually provide that superb customer experience, right? So on a time in which the Vodafones and all these companies, you call them and you talk for a bot until you are like bored to death and angry that you want to kill someone. How do you do it is, well, you actually compete with that by providing a personal experience, by being human, by just listening to people, being available. It's actually something that it's actually people don't understand the value of answering a phone call. Nowadays, people just want you to talk to a bot and resolve everything. But to me, I work with a CRM company, and the reason why I decided to renew with them for worth like $40,000 or $50,000 is because they actually have a live agent. So out of the 4 ones that I was considering, it was the only one that has someone behind the chat responding to your queries. So most of it, a bot can answer it. But when you're frustrated and you need something quick and sometimes you need a tailored answer, having the ability to connect with a human, it's just priceless. So it's just answer the phone. Other one is people expect everything to be done quickly, especially when it comes to customer experience, customer service. So in the era of technology, everything is expected to be like this. So try to respond to queries quickly. If you're having an event, I used to do a few home shows with Mike when we were at Metro Glass. And it used to drive me crazy that we did an excellent work preparing the home show and everything was set up and it was very successful. And we got a crazy amount of leads that we worked really hard on getting. And then it would take them 3 weeks to our sales team to just send the follow-ups when people wanted it now. They wanted it, right? So it's like if you're not following up in the moment, if you're not sending a tailored message saying, I had this conversation with you, I knew that you care about this stuff, if you're not doing those things, you're losing momentum, right? So try to be reactive. And the last one that is really important for me, it's really easy if you put your mind to it to wow people, to impress people. It's something that I learned when I worked in Canada at a restaurant chain called Jack Astor's. So when we were doing our induction, and one of the key things, so they pride themselves on customer experience. And I was working there as a waiter. And I can tell you, I made about $20,000 in American in tips in about 2.5 months, which was the money that allowed me to come to New Zealand.
But topless?
Yeah. Magic Mike. But honestly, their standards of customer service in America in general, they're pretty high for service. People depend on it because the wages are really bad. But what they taught us is that every service that you do, every dinner that you serve, every time that you've got kids or someone at your table, you have an opportunity to wow and to impress people. And if you do it, your tips are most likely to double, right?
Yeah, right.
So we always found an opportunity to bring something to a table with kids that would allow the mom to have a meal and enjoy it while the kids were being entertained or had something. We were able to, bring something, ensure that the water glasses were always topped up and people didn't have to wait thirsty. Whatever it was, always find a way to impress people. And what that taught me, I brought with me to almost every business where I've been. And it's really about being memorable, but connecting with people and showing them that you care. So if you show them that you genuinely care, if you create a memory that will make them remember you, that's setting you up for success, right? Mm-hmm. So that's leading to amazing reviews. So that takes us to turning happy customers into brand advocates. So the best marketing, it's not because I know a guy that does video testimonials, but the best marketing that you can do next year, it's actually be brave and ask for referrals, but make it easy for people to give you a referral.
Yeah.
Don't go and ask them, hey, give me a referral. No, actually, prepare something that within a couple of clicks is going to allow them to actually give you a really good referral in the platform that matters to you. Because if it is Google reviews or if it's whatever, try to ensure that the feedback is in the right place. Ask and try to get social proofing by getting testimonials. So testimonials are incredibly important.
Michael did not pay you to say that.
But it is true. So we were talking at the very beginning about trust. And the best way for you to get trust is showing people.
So good.
Yeah, showing people what you do transparently, and what better way than having someone that has lived that experience before you saying that you not only can do what you say you can do, but you're actually making people feel great while you're doing it, right? And that's...
I promise I did not pay him. I cannot afford him.
Testimonials, reviews, and then just remember always to be human, to care for people, and to be customer-centric. Now, don't make the mistake that, or don't think that tomorrow you can decide my company is going to be customer-centric, and from next week on, we're going to do customer centricity. It doesn't really work like that. It has to be rooted within the values of your company. If you've got 5 people working in your business that don't give a hoot about your customer, you're probably not going to change them, and it's going to be a really hard process. So it starts when you hire, it starts when you train, it starts when you talk to your customers every day and you show everyone how it's done. It continues when you're invoicing, when you're talking with someone, when you're quoting. So you just need to ensure that you always think about how are you making the customer feel and how are you making their life better. So if you've got that in mind, you're always going to have happy customers that will become advocates, that will do your marketing for you for free, and it's the most efficient type of marketing.